Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Living in Colorado Springs and I am Alicia Armendariz. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different, something that I think is kind of fun, and that's going to be where is there to go here in Colorado Springs for good food. Just off the bat, Colorado Springs is not a foodie town. You should know that. We're not up and coming with the most innovative cuisines. We definitely have a lot of franchises, chain restaurants, and so that can be good or bad. I definitely like a lot of the chain restaurants that we do have here in town, but I also like some of the local stuff here that I definitely always recommend to people when they're coming into town, either to visit or when they are coming in to view a home because they've been on a home search for a while and they're relocating here. So if you guys have any questions over anything that I mentioned, please feel free to reach out to me. I am a licensed broker here in the state of Colorado, and I would love to help you with your real estate needs. And if you could hit that subscribe button and bell so that you can get notified when I make new videos each week on everything that is living in Colorado Springs. So as I mentioned, a lot of the restaurants that we do have here in Colorado Springs are going to be franchises. You're going to have your, McDonald's, Burger King, Arby's, Chipotle, Starbucks, Olive Garden, which I do love. I love me some Olive Garden. If you want something different besides one of those franchise restaurants, these are some of my favorite places. I'm a foodie. I love food. I eat everything. I like everything. But to get to this list, there's not going to be any particular order of, my top favorite, least favorite. I'm just going to kind of do this more so by areas of town, just because it's easier to remember that way. So to begin with downtown Colorado Springs. Downtown Colorado Springs actually has quite a bit of restaurants. I'm going to say for the size that it has a lot of actual locally owned restaurants or just not franchise restaurants. So probably one of my favorites is Red Gravy. Red Gravy is on Tejon Street, which is a main drag in downtown Colorado Springs. It is open from about 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. And they serve a variety of things of kind of breakfast food, lunch food, dinner entrees. They do have a full service bar, but their food to me is just like a heavy farm feel, if that makes sense. Everything is very just hearty tasting. Their pastas, just have a really delicious, thick marinara sauce or Alfredo sauce. Their chicken and the gravy that goes maybe on their chicken is a very hearty and warm, heart-filling kind of meal. I just really like this restaurant. It actually took me a few years to get around to getting to it. I'd always heard of it. I'd walked past it several times a day when I would be downtown doing whatever. And it wasn't until recently where I was like, man, I have been missing out on Red Gravy. So I definitely recommend if you guys are just looking for a warm, hearty meal. They have a variety of things on their menu, a variety of drink specials, but I would definitely check that out. The next downtown restaurant that I highly suggest you go to, it has a fun atmosphere, it has good food. I will say this was probably a local fan favorite, not just one of my favorites, but that is the Rabbit Hole. And the Rabbit Hole has been around for a while. They are described as a New American haunting feel. When you see the interior, it'd make a lot more sense, but it used to kind of be a speakeasy, and now it's just so popular and everyone likes to go there. Everybody knows where it is for the most part, but when you're walking downtown, it just kind of has a old subway entrance, so you don't really see it because we don't really have subways here in Colorado Springs. People don't know what that is, but you're walking down the street and then you suddenly just see kind of a really small, thin glass walkway. It almost kind of looks like maybe an advertisement billboard holder, but it has some stairs that go downstairs under downtown, and then from there it has a very dark, kind of like a Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland theme. It's done very elegantly though, but the art on the walls, the cocktail menu, drink names, some of the food names, they all kind of have an Alice in Wonderland theme. And like I said, because it's downstairs underground, it kind of is naturally dark. It does have a romantic feel, but it also has just a very late night, grab some food and drinks kind of feel. The food is good, the drinks are good, customer service every time that I've been there has been pretty good. So that is definitely a fan favorite if you're looking for late night bites. Then if you head south just a block or two from downtown, you're still gonna be within downtown, but kind of on the southern end, and you're gonna come across the Samich Shack. I like the Samich Shack because they have two locations. They have one downtown, and then they also have one on the east side of town. But the one downtown, I just know more people there, so I like it. But that is more of a gourmet sandwiches, crafty sandwiches. They use boar's head meats and cheeses, so if you're not sure of what boar's head is, it's pretty popular, high quality meats and cheeses that are provided to restaurants across the US actually. But they just make really good, large, gourmet quality sandwiches. And sometimes you just want a sandwich. Who doesn't like sandwiches? So I definitely recommend Samich Shack. They have a variety of just different sandwiches. They do have a couple of burgers, and you can always get things, side of soup, fries, what have you. I'm pretty much, and chips. I'm just a sandwich and pickle girl, so I definitely like everything though on their menu. There obviously are a lot of other restaurants downtown that I really like. I would just say these are probably the ones that I frequent the most, that I like everything on their menu, not just one or two things. So we definitely have some sushi restaurants, we have some steakhouses. I'm gonna mention, I think, some better steakhouses in this video, but there is a variety of things to do downtown, places to eat that are not your typical franchise restaurants. So if we jump over to Manitou Springs, if you're ever in Manitou Springs because you're just doing touristy stuff, or you are living within Colorado Springs limits and you want to go do the incline, or just walk around Manitou Springs because it's cool, I definitely recommend checking out the Mona Lisa Fondue Restaurant. That's been around forever. That is a super fan favorite come, gosh, any romantic holiday, just holidays in general. Valentine's Day, anniversaries, things of that sort. It's in a kind of older Victorian building right on the main drag that goes through Manitou Springs. And like I said, it is a fondue restaurant. They're really known for having a variety of cheeses and desserts and even entrees, and they get pretty good with their seasonal switch ups. I like to follow their Instagram page actually, because then I get to see what they post of their seasonal changes with the meats and salads and berries and dessert dippings. So that is definitely a place to check out if you're looking for something romantic or just small bites. The Mona Lisa is very popular, and I do recommend though, if you want to try and get in, making reservations ahead of time. You can call them, you could do it online, you could do it through the app of OpenTable. They take all reservation types, but I definitely recommend getting a reservation because you do get kind of a better seat in the house. The Loop is next on my favorites in Manitou Springs. The Loop has been around forever, and it is probably, I'm not gonna say some of the best Mexican food in town, but it is definitely some of the best margaritas in town. Big, huge, large, giant margaritas. They do have a variety of your just typical Mexican food that you would kind of find anywhere: enchiladas, tostadas, burritos, tamales, things of that sort. So me being from Pueblo and me actually coming from like a big Hispanic family, it's not gonna be the best Mexican food like I said, but it is good, especially if you've been doing touristy stuff all day in Manitou Springs. You've been hiking the incline, you've just been walking around town, you've been doing hiking and trails in general, you just got off with a cog rail, whatever, and you're hungry, definitely going over to the Loop for some just, heavy, hot Mexican food and some big margaritas is definitely gonna be something I recommend you do. So if you are looking for something traditional, definitely head over to Old Colorado City, because within Old Colorado City, you are going to find some very delicious homemade Italian and Greek. And I'm not a huge fan of Greek food in general, but I am a fan of Jake and Telly's Greek Tavern. So that is off of kind of one of the main drags that goes through Old Colorado City here in town. And they've been around since, I think, the 90s. It's family owned, and they do a lot of really good entree pairing with wine pairings. So I don't go there a whole lot just because I don't think of it. I don't crave Greek food, but when I do, I definitely go there. And we have a few other Greek restaurants in town, but I think the majority of people always go to Jake and Telly's. It is 2 levels. In the summertime, it has kind of a patio that overlooks all the festivities that are always going on in Old Colorado City. So you kind of can't beat that. And then, like I said, the food alone is just superb as far as traditional Greek food. And if Greek food is not your thing, but you are still in Old Colorado City, then I definitely recommend going over to Dad's Italian. Dad's Italian is family owned. It's been around probably since like 2010, I believe. And that is owned by a big Italian family here in town. They actually, I believe the husband or brother, one of the owners came from Brooklyn, and then 2 generations before them, they did come from Italy. But their whole concept was they wanted to open a mom and pop style Italian restaurant here in town, and they did, and it is delicious. It has a very kind of small, quaint, warm feeling inside. It's not a big place, but definitely holds, I don't know, enough to where everyone kind of feels like family, and everyone's kind of yelling. And I will say that is probably some of the best authentic Italian food I have ever had, and that is definitely one of my favorites. I definitely recommend booking reservations for them also. They're pretty accommodating. For the most part, you can just walk in, but it never hurts. I'm sure the wait staff appreciates it too if you definitely book a reservation either online, calling in, or the Open Table app. And then if you just want some, what I call Colorado food, within Old Colorado City is Colorado Mountain Brewery. And it's just a big brewery kind of right off of Highway 24 and 21st Street. So again, if you were just coming out of Manitou Springs or just kind of out of the mountains off of Highway 24, you've been doing touristy stuff all day, you've been hiking, whatever, and you want to go and you want to get some craft beer, a pizza, burgers, fries, kind of typical bar food, I would recommend Colorado Mountain Brewery just because it's the best bar food. It's not the overly greasy and small, just what a bar has. I would say they have some of the best burgers in town. Burgers, fries, wraps, pizzas, all of it. Like I said, it is a brewery, so they definitely have some craft beers and some flights that I recommend that you try, or they do offer pairings with your meal. But man, some of their burgers, their San Luis burger, it's like a green chili burger. Oh man, it's just so good. I get it. I get it every time I go there with some sweet potato fries. But just to expect, that is kind of your typical, like I say, Colorado food, beer and burgers. That's what we like to eat and drink here. So I would definitely recommend going to Colorado Mountain Brewery. So with all the steak houses we have in town, we do have some pretty good ones, but I am probably going to say that my favorite is Prime 25. And Prime 25 kind of sits on the south end of town, kind of near the Cheyenne Mountain area. There's a lot of new construction kind of going on in a neighborhood called Ivy Wild. So it's kind of technically an Ivy Wild, but since that's still up and coming, and if you're not sure what that is, it's just the southern part of Cheyenne Mountain neighborhood. So Prime 25 is actually locally owned by a very, very popular businessman here in town, a close friend of mine also, but his steakhouse, it's steak and seafood, and it's just a very warm, sexy interior. It has sexy drinks. The food is sexy. If you love food like I do, you can get and visualize what I'm talking about. The bar is beautiful. The seating is beautiful. The restaurant, the lighting, just the overall interior. It's just a very warm, upscale, contemporary steak and seafood restaurant. They do have an upstairs level that has a fire pit that kind of overlooks a little bit of the city, and then they also have large rooms that you could book for small parties, get-togethers, conferences, things of that sort. And last on my list, but definitely not least, is O'Malley's up in Monument. Now, I technically am about 40 minutes from O'Malley's. I live on the southwest side of town, kind of near Cheyenne Mountain and like Highway 24. So it takes about 40 minutes to get to O'Malley's, but oh man, is it worth it. They have the best wings in town, in a couple of towns. I don't know, I never found a good wing place when I was living in Denver, so I'm gonna go with probably the best wings in southern Colorado, in Colorado in general. O'Malley's has been around for years. It's still owned by like the same guy. He works there all the time. He's kind of a little older gentleman, but he kind of hobbles around and he, says hi to everybody and has great customer service. But people go to O'Malley's for the wings. And it's not like a Buffalo Wild Wings where you get to pick all your several different seasonings and sauces. It's one sauce. It's one secret, delicious sauce. And you can get a variety of wings, from 8, 10, 20, 25, 100. They offer that because that's how many people like to order. People go to O'Malley's because it's kind of like a Cheers, if you're old enough to know the show Cheers. Not the interior. I've definitely been to the Cheers in Boston. It's not like that interior doesn't look like that, but it definitely has that everybody knows your name feel. Everybody knows the bartenders know you, everybody knows the owner knows everybody, and they definitely have a variety of not only just wings, but burgers, fries, steaks. They really have a cool concept where if you order a ribeye or New York steak, you have the option for them to either cook it in the kitchen or they bring it out to you fresh, raw, and then they have like a big community grill inside where you can just go over and you cook it. You cook it on the grill and they have a bunch of different seasoning and sauces nearby and you kind of just cook it to your liking. I have learned by doing this, I am not a good griller. I thought I could be, I thought I was gonna be so good at grilling. I am not. I'm getting better. The more that I go to O'Malley's and the more that I order the steak and I grill it myself, I'm definitely getting better. I'm learning how I like it. I still have the kitchen do it every now and then, but like I said, I go for the wings. And I'm not a big wing person. I gotta be in the mood for wings, but when I'm in the mood, oh man, I'm almost always in the mood though for O'Malley wings. And it's just a really cool place to go to in general. Even if you don't want to go for wings, you just want to have a drink. It's kind of a sports bar. They got a bunch of TVs, and it's just right across from Palmer Lake. So if you are ever just traveling up and down Highway 105, which kind of runs right past O'Malley's, that's kind of the back road between Colorado Springs and Denver. There's some open space out there. There's some hiking trails. Again, if you just are exhausted or hungry from a day of doing activities here in Colorado, you're gonna want to stop by O'Malley. You're gonna want to get some wings or burger or drink or whatever they got, because everything there is good. So, if you guys have any questions over anything that I mentioned in this video, if you'd like any more recommendations on where to go, what to do, where to eat, because none of these places sounded tempting to you, I don't know why they wouldn't, but definitely feel free to reach out to me or leave something in the comments and I will get back to you. And if you could, please hit that subscribe button and bell to get notified when I make new videos each week on everything that is living in Colorado Springs.